own homemade product. What's your take as?
I can tell you that it is purely a social and economic attack on the Igbo businessmen from the southeast extraction. And there's this news too that we are hearing that Igbos cannot be president in Nigeria because they have produced a lot of billionaires. They cannot be president, that if eventually they are being handed over presidency to, it means they will overrun everything about Nigeria. People that have not been president before and you are giving them presidency, it means in less than 6 months, 1 year, they have brought everything that has to do with Nigeria identity. Is that the reason why Igbos cannot be president? Is that the reason why other religions and other political elites are campaigning that don't bring power close to these people? If you're able to bring power close to the people, then it just means you vertically, morally, socially, politically, the only thing they feel that the Igbo doesn't have is just the political power. But unknowingly to them, they don't know that we have enough of it. Social and economic attack on the Igbos will not do Nigeria any harm. Irrespective of that, you can see how Nigerian government has been using all manner of economic policies to squeeze Igbo businesses to that level. I remember under Buhari, he never did anything. Under this man they call Tinubu again, we are experiencing massive manhunt to clamp down on Igbo businesses. To an extent, they were even threatening some powerful Igbo businessmen, who have relocated their businesses in different areas in the eastern part of the country to relocate to the west, southwest here, or Lagos, or have their licenses shut down. You can see the kind of attack they get to e-money. You can see where we saw the same thing on Thomas Okoya's children doing the same thing e-money was accused of. So what are we talking about? Innocent that started with only 3,000 naira in 1980s or late 70s. I can tell you. I can abuse one of people that.
Do you think that the Nigerian government don't trust him enough to at least run or do business with him? Do you think because an Igbo man they don't trust him?
When they were busy importing, buying, look at, he was busy. He got contract from Sierra Leone, he got contract from Gambia, he got contract from Ghana. The Nigerian government have never been able to look at the local content and manufacturers themselves, at least to be able to build our local economy. They are talking about foreign, but still we have powerful hands, manufacturing sector, industry in the eastern part of the country that has these people do these things alone. You don't patronize them. Thank God that the Northerners are talking now. I don't know whether their talk is political, motivated, or just purely, a kind of sentiment to bring Igbos to seek for Northern Igbo alliance this time around to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I can give you that anybody that is single innocent, look at the attack that came under Buhari against innocent. We saw what GTB Bank and the rest of them did at that time. He stood his ground. Look at the issue of APs too. Onyema, we saw all these things. Now Onyema has the biggest and the largest fleet of sophisticated plane, new passenger plane in the country, and still they are not doing anything about it. These are people who struggle on daily basis without government intervention, without government providing any form of waiver or palliative to them. Every woman, yes, if you are saying that Igbos are billionaires, have produced more billionaires according to whatever record you have, I want to agree to an extent, but that they are not qualified, they should not be given presidency because they have produced enough billionaires. What is the justification for that? It's worth over $10 billion today. He never borrowed from anybody. He never borrowed from anybody. He is the first indigenous car vehicle manufacturing company brand in Nigeria, which is supposed to be like all the whole 36 state governors are supposed to be buying whatever vehicle. Senators just to encourage him. But because as an Igbo man, the factor is playing. Everything is playing. Igbophobia in the economic sector. Igbophobia is in social sector. Igbophobia in political sector. Igbophobia everywhere. But still, I can't put your word. I cannot lose the word of Igbo land. I'm talking of innocent Chukwuma, who has built his business based on trust. Look at what Soludo did to the young man in Anambra, demolished his company, Innocent Motors, did all manner of things. You know, yes, because these people are working not for the interest of the people. I want to see senators in Nigeria. Everywhere, Barry Bodges or Carlo, Benjamin or Carlo, or whatever. And this man, they call up APGA, they are that. Wow, what are they doing there? Can they mandate that every vehicle used by government officials must come from the first indigenous car manufacturing brand? Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to see how he's going to use the same thing where he did to Dangote and shut Innocent Motors down, bring him back to Lagos or relocate him back to Lagos. But they cunningly. That's why the Hausas are afraid of them anytime, any day. But this one have taught them a lesson. When they cited Dangote refinery, they didn't know that we are building it for Odua Republic. But unfortunately, Dangote did not realize that on time, because they feel that the Yoruba Alliance is trendy, is working. But what has happened now? The North are seeking Igbo Alliance at this point in time. But I can tell you that only Anambra State alone, loses 50 to 60 billion naira on daily basis for just Monday sit at home. To tell you the kind of GDP. What is Lagos?
So who is the cause of this now? Who is the cause?
No, I'm telling you now. I'm telling you. Apart from the federal presence in Lagos, everybody say Lagos, Lagos. You know who told you that Tinubu built Lagos? This is the former capital. Everyone, virtually all the resources was, invested in this place, for years, and the leverage on that. Everybody shout. What are people that have never benefited anything from the federal government? Still, they are being attacked socially. They are being attacked economically. Look at all the commercial banks in Nigeria currently today. If they don't have Igbo customer, that commercial bank will follow up. So this campaign to bring down and squeeze Igbos economically, politically, and socially has already been registered. And people are taking note of that. I want to use this medium to call on Obi Kubana them. You saw what happened to E-Money. Kubana, chief priest. Zenko, all of them, all these guys, yes, I like the statement that was credited to Kubana chief priest. He said whatever they did to E-Money, that is their business, but that they can tell them that Oba, Mary, Igbo youth in the next 5 years are going to produce a lot of billionaires times 200.
So in other words, if they are eating on the Igbos, they will keep on prospering. That's what they're trying to say.
I don't know how Igbos get to the level where. Yes, I want to. I don't want to know how Igbos get to that level, But I can tell you that the God's hand is on it, and this is a Jewish pastor. He can share a little more insight into this trending issue.
Yeah,
Igbo business must survive, irrespective of.
Igbos must survive, my brother. Do you know why Igbos must survive? This is like the case of what happened in the land of Egypt. In the time of the old, when Pharaoh was like stressing up the children of Israel, giving them acts unknowingly to him that he was empowering them, giving them more energy, more ideas, for them to speak, to bring out the best inside of them that they are yet to know. You understand? The more you try to bring Igbo man down, the more you are giving him more strength. Are you getting it? The more you are trying to keep the Igbo man, is the more you are giving Igbo man more power. Anytime you try to make sure say Igbo man no rise, you are not giving him the key for him to double the hustle. I repeat again, if you try to stop Igbo man, you are trying to let him know, you are educating him, you are pushing him to double the hustle. I don't know whether you understand the meaning of double the hustle. And that is why When you see some jeep, if you see some cars, they have double exhaust. So Igbos always have triple exhaust whenever you try to press them down. And that is why their source of income doesn't come from one place. They come from left, they come from right, they come from front, they come from back. Every corner na money. Now source of income to solve because they know that operations are coming. They will use one side to face the operation, they will use the other side to continue moving. And that is why you will see some Igbo men, they will tell you say they have money. You understand? They will save money for case, they will save money for hospital, and they save money for what? Family. Are you getting it? And that is it. That is the way Igbos operate. They plan ahead because God give them the wisdom of thinking ahead, of seeing ahead, having something up front. My brother, as I'm speaking to you, 10 million naira is not money. You know why I say it's not money? There are many like some Yorubas or Hausa, you give them, if they see 10 million naira now, hey, they see money, see them throw party. 10 million naira is nothing, no reach anything because that 10 million no reach one project which I have at hand. One project which I have done, I'm looking for that 10 million now, once you come now, with that 10, you'll swallow it. That 10 million, that one project will swallow it once. So it's not money. Okay, so Igbo man have had it in the back of their mind, their mindset of because to become rich. It is a wisdom and grace given to them by God Almighty. So you cannot say you want to stop Igbo man by going. If you cripple this side another way, I don't know whether you don't go hunting. There are some Belgian rats in the bush. It doesn't have one place. You open here, you open here, you open here. It has about 4 to 5 channels. If you cover here, push smoke, you go pass the other side, boom, and travel. That is Igbo man way.
Okay, but do you think that Tinubu is making a very big mistake by not? Do you not think Tinubu is making a very big mistake by not, purchasing or working with
Tinubu is making a hair. You know, when he said something that we should recognize our local product. Look at the statement from Article. If you say that we should recognize what? Our local product, then you have to first and foremost recognize endorses motto. You have to first and foremost, not be by mouth, by action. And you must not travel to France again. Yes, seeking for advice. Let your advice be within Yoruba land here and Aso Rock. Say we don't have hospital here.
They are not standard enough.
Then let him make it standard. He is the president. The money that he used going on trip and coming back is enough to put that hospital to standard level. Let me tell you, where did the state of Obasanjo die? Say in Nigeria here, nobody inside the standard hospital is paid. So let them bring that money and put it here and do. So I think we gave him, and I love it. So if truly you want us to respect ourselves, respect what you have, respect. See, I refuse to become a third class in this country. That is what Nigerian government have placed Igbo man, have oppressed, push Igbo man to third class. But I am telling the world and Nigerians today that the Igbos are not third class. We are first class because we senior Nigeria. Are you hearing me? And let me tell you again, it is a high time. Forget all these our leaders, because those ones are paid leaders, elements who have sold their rights with a pot of porridge, who contribute in what imagine Fulani will never bath. See how dirty. Then they wear cloth. They know how much is cloth. Then they dash them cloth now. Me, I follow for people wear cloth. I know how many Fulanis wear clothes for this Lagos. Then they know how much than the rent house. Then the Fulani go come, they see himself as the first class in the country where they say I owe the person. It's like when you now, as you there in your family, the firstborn, then lastborn go come, they point your face. How you go take see am? No, Baba, let us be realistic here. This morning, my brain just dey go ziggy. In fact, at the boy, how can I be a third class in a country where I supposed to be the first class? The resources Nigeria they use to develop the whole country, where is it coming from? Are you trying to tell me that if this resources is coming from the northern part of Nigeria, that this country wouldn't have been divided by now? You understand? So why should I see myself as the third class? All those politicians can see themselves as a third class, but I, evangelist of Biafra, I am not the third class. I am number one citizen of this country. And if the need may be, if they don't want to take it, let Biafra go.
Okay, good morning. Okay, we saw what happened yesterday at the court, between Namkanu legal team and the witness, and the federal government have insisted that Nnamdi Kanu, promoted violence and at the same time promoted division of Nigeria. But what happened yesterday? What do you think will happen today in court? And at the same time, do you think we see a lot of Igbos anxious and waiting for what will happen today in today's court proceeding? What do you think will happen today?
Of course, the cross-examination continues. There's no doubt about that. The international and the local and the national media need to be very careful at this point in time, because definitely truth must prevail. The story making run has also been denied by Nnamdi Kanu's personal counsel, Aloy Ejimako, has also been denied. The narrative has been denied too by the IPOB spokesperson, Emma Powerful. The family too has come out to take a stand that there was no time. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu admitted in the court over incitement has been peddled in other media houses. And of course, the DSS must understand this very clearly, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be put in a fix where we know actually what transpired. Thank God that the process of the legal process, procedural process of the court was shut down by James Omotosho himself when the DSS themselves failed to take normal procedure. Then how can the media come up and say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Tinubu 100 million we can work, when they know actually that there is something that happened in Opigbo? There is this agenda of Igbophobia everywhere in Lagos. The fact that the Igbos are being squeezed economically, socially, and otherwise. So the reaction of what the government has already put in place is what is being targeted as a kind of incitement. That's what I'm saying. That I think it will go to the point that the Igbo people themselves will start calling for public coverage, live coverage of the proceedings in the court between Nigerian government and of course Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because so that people will be able to have first-hand information on what is actually going on. You can see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he's not shaking, he's focused. You know that the victory is going to come at last. But from what I'm seeing in Omotosho, and we know where he's coming from. We know his godfathers, and I can tell you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not somebody you can just toy with. And there's no crime. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not committed any crime. The people that committed crime against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are the Nigerian government, and they should take responsibility of that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to face trial, and is already doing that. We are seeing this morning today, he has already appeared in court. And you can see the development, people all over the world, from delegates from different parts of the country, are already in Abuja, observing, trying to understand, the direction this cross-examination is still going. And also remember, some of these things has legal interpretation, and when you look at it very well, they are bringing videos and showing funny illegal presentation of incitement against the people by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But I can tell you, if actually going to do that, how many count charges have they presented against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? The process has already been faulted by James Omotosho, and I think at the end of the day, he's going to trash any irrelevant that's attached to this. The Yoruba media should stop celebrating what they don't know. What did not transpire in the court, they will publish it. That's unfortunate, and we should not allow that to happen. And that is why we are asking, let there be public coverage, live coverage of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trials in the court.
Okay, but also, being played in that video clip was he accused the Southeast governors of working for the Fulani Caliphate. He said these people, Opus Odima in particular, was the one that brought the Fulanis, to the Southeast. Do you agree with him saying that the Southeast governor are working for the
We
Fulani
must
Caliphate?
understand very clearly that there's something that happened in the Igbo. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not the person that created EndSARS. EndSARS was created as a result of the ills, brutality of the system against his own people. And most of these things we have been targeted, and that is why it has come to the point that we are saying, anywhere you are, you are an Igbo man, don't participate in anything that has to do with protests in Nigeria. Don't get yourself involved, because ethnic settlement is going to play out completely, and that is what is happening. Look at how can somebody diagnose himself that's an Igbo man because of politics. He's killing his own people to please the Fulanis. Look at what wicked, and you expect somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not to make a statement in that regard. Look at what the Igbophobia in Lagos. So how does that not translate to the art of terrorism and Fulani that are killing people everywhere? Well, Opus Odima, I don't know, your name has already been mentioned, and you know what transpired, you know how you came to power, you know how the Fulani factored you in Imo State, and you know the role you play. All your forgiveness will not be forgiven. Nobody's going to forgive you, Opus Odima, because you are part of the problem Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing now. And that is why there's no governor in the East anybody is going to be loyal to. If they like, let them do anything they like.
He's begging. He's begging.
Yes, he has been moving. I think he's a reverend father now. He has given his life to Christ. That's what he's trying to tell us. And he's preaching.
You think he knows?
Why shouldn't you know that you came out openly and told the whole world that the late APGA made you governor? So what is the reason of making you governor? You open the gates for Fulanis, and they are killing your own people. And all of a sudden, you just wake up one morning and discover that your tenure is almost gone, and you are seeking for forgiveness. You are going from one church to another. In fact, Osadima has talked to a reverend father, and you want to lead a certain peace movement, agreement to plead on Igbos to forgive them the role they played against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The reality on ground is that truth must prevail. It's never a crime to seek for self-determination of people whom has been proved to the extent that they're almost going to extinction. That's the fact. What is the federal government talking about the killing in the entire country by the same people, and they're saying they are not going anywhere? Well, that's a fact we must understand this morning. And as you can see in the court, there's a similar relationship between Omotosho, the judge, the presiding officer, James Omotosho, and of course, the IPOB-led legal team. Kanu Akambi, they are very observant. They are watching the development as it goes. I don't know that this issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to receive a speedy trial. There's no arm, there's no weapon that has been found against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then, why keeping Nnamdi Kanu for 10 years and thereafter? The Nigerian government should understand this, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become a symbol, of Pan-Africanism. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become a symbol of hope for every 85, not even these Southeast governors. I'm telling you, because I don't understand why they should allow this kind of, impunity to be happening to somebody who has come to rescue his people and let the whole world know the plight of Igbo in every angle of Nigeria. That's the fact.
Okay. And lastly, we saw that he was accused of what violence and secession against moving away from Nigeria. That is the Biafran. But we saw Kanu Agabi said no, that is a political expression, and at the same time that is under the UN law that he has right to protest or talk as regards him the Igbos succeeding away from Nigeria.
Of course, it's political liberation. Of course, Igbos are they can see even the Southeast governors are saying that Igbos are marginalized. The funny man from Kano who happens to be APC national chairman Gaduje, he said once you join APC there will be no marginalized. So the North knows actually that the Igbos are being marginalized. So it was a deliberate and calculated plan to make sure that there's this ongoing oppression and suppression against the Igbos. And somebody rose and started asking questions. He said the person has committed act of terrorism. That's the demon. That's why Nigeria cannot move forward. Because Nigeria does not like to understand what it means to move from one particular point to another. Igbos are naturally mobile people. And because of their nature, you do not expect them to continue to face political stagnation. It cannot happen. Then how does that translate to terrorism when we are seeing on a daily basis people who are carrying AK-47 and killing people everywhere, and you are saying the Igbos should sit down in one particular place and got killed? No, it cannot happen. The director of DSS, what did he say? That woman that is calling for armed struggle against Nigerian state, have they been arrested? Didn't you hear them saying that everybody should take up arms against the non-state actors in Nigeria?
Even the DSS boss.
So even the DSS boss, has they been, because they are not Igbos. We are watching because see, Mazin Namikani represent a deep symbol, and he represent the oppression and suppression. And I know that he is not going to look back. Whatever they like, let them jail him, no problem. Let them kill, no problem. But the fact still remains that Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, Biafra has become very much unstoppable.
Thank you very much.